Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's important video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I want to talk about something very important. You see, I've sat and thought about my life. And the stories of other people's lives that I've heard while doing this channel for more than a decade. And I've come to one possible conclusion. That those that set up certain systems in our society know that our outcome can and will oftentimes happen. I also believe that it's possible that these same people over time, by making certain changes in society, will increase the likelihood that more and more people will end up like us. So much so, I believe they want it to become the norm of society. Let's look at something I'm familiar with. The family court system. As I went through that very system when I was quite little. But I remember that system didn't care about me and it didn't care about my brother. I remember meeting with what seemed to be extremely quacky court-appointed psychiatrists and advocates. That seemed to literally do nothing. However, they probably got paid a lot of money. You see, some time ago when the concept of no-fault divorces took off, there seemed to be an encouragement behind it. Let me explain. I find it strange whenever something comes up in society as a so-called help, such as no-fault divorces. But why after such a thing comes up, all you see around you are advertisements almost for reasons why you too should get a divorce? If it were truly meant as a help to the people, it would be treated very seriously. And you would hear those considered to be at the top of society telling others that this type of thing shouldn't be used when you just aren't happy today. Or you want to relive your youth and have someone else foot the bill. This is to be used in a very serious way. Nope. That's not what happened. It was flat out encouraged. But then we have to ask ourselves why? Why would the breakdown of a family, then eventually millions of families, why would their breakdowns be encouraged? And then you start to see the small and big picture of things. You see, there are always going to be short-sighted low-level narcissists in the system that enjoy to watch real time as a family goes down the tubes. But they also love to make the money off of such sad things happening. They make a lot, and I do mean a lot of money off of court-appointed this and that. And this filing fee and that filing fee. It's all meant to rob you and your children blind. And sadly people walk into this every day. Why? Narcissism. When you pump narcissistic evil into a society every day and every night, instead of moral decency, you are increasing the chances that you might end up with someone not so good for a husband or wife. And you might create a family with such a person. And here's the thing. Some people start out just fine. And then they turn into what I call narcissist lights. Which means somewhere along the line, the brainwashing of society takes hold. And this person starts mimicking the traits and evils of the narcissist, though they aren't a full-on narcissist. What's the result of this? More broken homes. More children growing up without stability. More full prisons and jails. More cycles of evil and broken lives repeated. More people turning to all kinds of horrible addictions hoping to numb the pain of their lives. Yet they don't stand up and say, this is wrong. And then try to correct all of this by showing good examples. By trying to put good things into people's lives. And guess what, people? They won't. They won't do it. Why? Because there is way too much money to be made off of yours and my pain. And they don't want any of us to be critical thinkers. Why? Because they lose their power and they lose their control. The truth is, a society is only as strong as its people. I will say that again. A society is only as strong as its people. And when you have God removed from the people's lives, which is step 1, then step 2, you just shove on them every evil you can think of. And you make all of these evils seem attractive and alluring. You can get these people to literally throw their lives away. You see, there is a ex-mobster here named Michael Franzese. He makes videos trying to help especially the young people to not throw their lives away, to believe in Christ and to know He has great things planned for you, and to not end up on the streets. And when you listen to many of the stories he tells on his channel about his former life, you start to see how much of a setup this former life was. You have all of this glamour and coolness about it shown in movies and television shows. It attracts young and up-and-comers into that way of life. But what isn't shown is how sophisticated the government is at catching them. So much so, it's like as if you went to a fish farm and put your pole in the water and 1 second later you had a fish on your hook. It's that easy. So if that life is so bad, why are there still images out there of it being so cool? If it wrecks so many lives and it just destroys people, why are there still images out there showing that life to be fun and exciting? Same thing with street gangs. There has always been gangs, but not like it is today. They by and large stayed in their little pockets of town and fought amongst themselves. And because there wasn't a lot of money in gang life, there wasn't much growth. But now, as we know, there are millions of dollars that are on the street that every gang member is trying to obtain. But again, just like Michael Franzese points out, with all the government has at their disposal, they are easy to catch. And more are put behind bars to spend the rest of their lives there. But then ask yourself, why is that life glorified? Why is it shown to our young people as a cool way to go? Well, you have to go back to the question. Why is divorce pushed as a good thing? Money. Money. And to have control over your life. It's straight up legal gangsterism. It really is. They get you thinking this way of life is cool. Then they have you step into a trap that will ruin your life for the rest of your life. Why do you think when you have someone on a popular talk show mention anything about child support or family law not being fair, they are quickly shamed and shouted down? The reason why is if what they are saying is allowed to gain traction, it could rip apart and destroy their entire empire of getting money left and right out of the people. And if families are intact, you have a lot less of a chance of your son or daughter ending up in the streets in a gang and doing things that might end up getting him or her locked up for life. I recently watched a news clip of 2 young ladies attempting to do the same thing that Cardi B has bragged about doing in her former life. Well, these 2 women were arrested and are now facing serious charges. First, it gets pushed on a people as being cool. You get them to get out there and start living this life. Then you drop the hammer down on them. That's evil. That's narcissism. The question then becomes, what can I do? Well, the first thing you can do is better your own life. Do the best with what you have where you are at right now. That's all we really can do. But I encourage the ladies out there, fight for a change within family court. Because the family is where it all happens. The good, the bad and the ugly. And if families aren't torn apart, like they are being torn apart today, it might give the next generation a chance at a better life than what we lived. And they might have a chance to turn a lot of these messes around. Because in nearly every societal dysfunction there is people somewhere making a ton of money off of such dysfunctions. And they don't want these dysfunctions to end because they are addicted to the money they get as a result. And it's likely they love the power as well. Because it's sad but true. Narcissists are attracted to such positions because they love watching innocent people squirm. 1 minute your life is going well, And the next your health is failing because you are losing your children and all of your money in court. There are those within the system sadly that enjoy watching such things take place. Because just like there are good people everywhere, there are evil people or narcissists everywhere. And sadly what we've done as a people, we've allowed the narcissists to get their grip into nearly every part of society. To the point where they control nearly every part of society. Because here's the thing. You have decent people that refuse to get married, when they deep down inside would love to be married. And they are being treated as if there is something wrong with them, when instead the system should be looked at. And the question should be asked. Why are people that really want to be married? Why are they not doing so? If the answer is, they don't want their life destroyed. And that's the normal answer most people give. Another question needs to be asked. Who created the system that is destroying lives? And how do we fix it? How do we gain control back over our lives? And please don't expect these narcissists to provide you real answers or real solutions. As I've talked about before, the narcissist will pretend to be working on something for the betterment of a particular situation. But in reality they aren't working on anything. They aren't. And time goes on and things get worse. And the narcissist gains more power. Well, in society, it's the same old song. They are working on it. There are so many things that needs to be done, so forth and so on, before they do this or that. It's all just a stall tactic. And they don't want to give up their money and they don't want to give up their power. It's as simple as that. That's why I say, push these channels that talk about narcissism to the top. Because the more the average person learns about narcissism, the more they can look around them and start to see the scams in life and how they are played out on the people. Ask yourself, why are there so many snares in life? And why are those snares made to look so attractive? And that's something actually come to think about it. I will make a video about. I think that is a great video idea. But think about these things. Because they are very important. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to wake up. Please leave your comments as always. They not only help others but they help me as well. I get so many ideas on new videos to make. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all that are supporting by the way of Patreon. You don't know how much you mean to me. Every little bit helps. And to those that found this content worth your while to listen to, and you have subscribed to this channel, I appreciate you very very much. With that said, I think this is a great place to stop. I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.